Hello, this is Brabbit 1987, and welcome to the 100 subscriber Q&A special. In the background, I have Minecraft going. Usually, I would cut these parts out, but I decided to just use it as background footage. I am working on the outside entrance of the maze, just adding a little bit of the nether rack into the floor to kind of blend it in, as that's going to be the theme of the maze. So anyway, moving on to the questions. First we have our question from Vert. He asks, vanilla or chocolate? And the answer to that is chocolate. I much prefer chocolate because, well, to me it just tastes better. Like if I were to, say, go to a place that has milkshakes, in most cases I'll get a chocolate milkshake. Every once in a while I'll probably get vanilla, but most of the time I'll always be chocolate. His second question is, if you only had one game to let's play and that is it forever, which game would you choose? I would choose Minecraft, because any other game, most of the time you would eventually have nothing left to do. But Minecraft, there's always something to do. You could pretty much, there's plenty of YouTubers who only do Minecraft videos, and it seems to be a game that you can always play. However, I could see Minecraft later on possibly not being as popular, but that'd probably be like about 5-10 years in the future or something like that. Our next question is from Kamikaze. What is your top 5 favorite anime? And this is actually a really hard question. So let's see. I know Elfen Lied is definitely on that list. What could else be on that list? Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I really love that one. Let's see. Let me bring up my anime list. Too bad you guys can't see this, but I'm actually going to bring up a list that I have that will help me decide on this. Alright, so another one would be Shakugan no Shana. That's another good series I really like. Another one would be Soul Eater. Can't leave out that Soul Eater. Certainly not. And, you know, I think Sword Art Online has to be the 5th. I know there are a lot of people who sort of don't like Sword Art Online. Usually the second half, but I thought it was a pretty good anime. Yeah, the second half wasn't all that great, but I definitely liked it better than the Dot Hack series. If Sword Art Online wasn't on that list, Dot Hack would probably be on that list. Specifically, Twilight Bracelet. So, our next question is, what made you start doing YouTube? And this was asked by P-Raptor and Ernest from the Freedom Network. So what made you start doing YouTube? And the answer to that question is I was watching a bunch of Let's Players. Specifically Gopher, who does Skyrim videos. I was watching Mumbo Jumbo, who does Minecraft videos. And Scott Manley, who does Kerbal Space Program videos. And while I was watching those videos, I thought it was amazing. Like, they would record the videos, I saw the comments, I would participate in the comments and everything, and I thought how cool it would be to record these games and stuff and actually have a community, to have people commenting and being a part of the game you're playing. And I've always liked that as an idea, and it pretty much makes games more interesting, and that's the other reason why. Is because I was getting bored with playing games single player all the time. Like, I would restart Skyrim over and over again, trying mods left and right, restarting the game without ever completing anything. And so it's because I was getting bored and I wanted something more from the games I was playing. So I decided to start YouTube. Next question is from Shireen. What was your favorite game console as a child? My favorite game console as a child was the Sega Genesis. I couldn't get enough of playing all those Sonic games. Specifically, Sonic 2 and up. I didn't really like Sonic 1 all that much, to be honest, but I really loved all the Sonic games. I was a huge fan of Sonic, so definitely the Sega Genesis. The next question by Shireen is, and if you had to choose one, which console is your favorite? Like, out of all consoles, so... that is a good question. I am going to say my favorite console, and this is probably going to come as a shock to a lot of people, is probably the Nintendo GameCube. I've played most of my console games on Nintendo GameCube. I've loved Animal Crossing, I loved all the Sonic Adventure games. I've loved Metroid Prime games, Pikmin. There's so many good games for the Nintendo GameCube, and I feel the GameCube didn't get as much notice as it should have gotten. And our next questions are from Smeltscape, and he asked a lot of questions. He did ask specifically a lot of questions he already asked AJ on his Q&A, but he said that they were more like general questions, and I do agree with him. They are pretty general, so it makes sense. So here we go. What are your hobbies besides gaming? My hobbies besides gaming are computers, technology, science. Pretty much even supernatural. Believe it or not, supernatural. I'm not even a big believer of supernatural things, which is kind of funny. Like, anything supernatural, I think, is usually bullcrap. But I actually like supernatural stuff. Like, I'm interested in ghosts, I'm interested in aliens, I'm interested in a whole bunch of that stuff. But I always call bullcrap on it, usually. I think the reason why I'm interested in that type of stuff is because I want something to be unique and real. Something, because I'm always looking for excitement. So, the other thing is, like, computers. I've always been a huge computer geek. Like, I always build my computers. Back when I was a kid, 10 years old, I was trying to make websites and stuff because I was trying to make a Pokemon website. Back when Pokemon for me was the thing. I learned how to repair computers when I was a kid. Just all self-taught, mostly just browsing around the web and everything and learning from different sites. That's pretty much it. I mean, since it's besides gaming, so I also do also like getting into like making games and stuff like that. So his next question is, do you have pets? Well, this is a good question. It entirely depends on which pets you're talking about. Throughout my entire life, we have owned pets. Back when I was living with my family, I've had countless pets. Like when I was a kid, we've had 3 dogs, Hunji, Keeling, and... oh wait, 2 dogs. I accidentally added an extra one in there. The ghost dog, call it. Cats. Currently, where I'm living now, yes, we do have pets. We have 2 cats. Blackie and Tiger. And they are the funniest cats you'd probably ever meet. They're definitely the funniest cats I've ever met. And we've owned cats like so many. Like I've owned, since being alive, I think at least 6 or 7 cats. And these 2 cats are definitely the funniest and weirdest. Definitely. So, next question is, what other games do you like to play, and what is your favorite game? Okay, well, my favorite game? That is a good question. I'm gonna say the Half-Life series. I know that's multiple games, but as one series, all the Half-Life games. I just wish they would come out with Half-Life 3. But they kind of keep that secret, so let's not get into that. That's for an entirely different time, because I can really get into why they haven't made Half-Life 3. what other games do I like to play? I actually like to play first-person shooter games, but not all that. They are very particular. Like, I like the sci-fi shooter games. I don't like war shooter games. Like World War II shooter games, I don't like. Most Call of Duty games I'm not that interested in. Besides the new one, looks pretty dang good. But yeah, so like Halo, Half-Life. You know, there's others too. I'm trying to remember one of them. What it's called. But what other games do I like? Of course, Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario. Old school gamer here, so. But yeah, and moving on. So, how long have you been part of YouTube, and how long have you been part of Night Owl? Well, I haven't even been part of YouTube for a year yet, so my guess is I think it's been 10 or 11 months that I'm a part of YouTube. Something like that. And Night Owl, it must be like around 7 or 8 months. So, let's see. How do you come across Let's Playing? And I pretty much already answered that. Well, not really. How did I come across Let's Playing? YouTube? I guess that would be the answer, right? Like, guess. I essentially was just searching around and found videos, you know, and started watching them. I know Scott Manley I came across just because I was interested in Kerbal Space Program. But that's pretty much how I came across Let's Playing. How did you end up joining Night Owl? And actually, this is a pretty funny story. I was actually on the Minecraft forums, and I had just recently started YouTube. I think about a month or two into it. I think about a month into it, actually. Just about a month. And, so I was looking for a server to join because I wanted to be a part of a Minecraft community rather than just doing single-player Minecraft worlds. And I actually had come across a few when I signed up for Night Owl, but I hadn't gotten a response. Like, I think it was a week or so in, and I still hadn't gotten a response from Night Owl. So I thought, whatever. Guess they're not going to accept my application because I'm a small YouTuber. That's what I thought. You know, I thought they were, you know, jerks who weren't going to accept my application just because, you know, oh, I'm new. You know, but no, that wasn't the case. It's just because they weren't really keeping an eye on it. And I was about to join another server. I completely forget what the other server was, but I ended up joining Night Owl just because Night Owl, after I was accepted, I felt Night Owl was more well-known. Not like well-known like popularity-wise, I mean like they have been around for a while. So I knew if I was going to start with Night Owl, it wouldn't be shut down. Unlike the other server, they were just getting started, and they may have been new and everything like that, and you don't know. You could start building everything, and the next thing you know, they could shut down the server, and you lose everything. And there isn't really anything you can do about it. So I ended up going with Night Owl. And I'm really glad I did, because the Night Owl server is awesome. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So next one. You now have 100 subs. Congrats. Does it make you feel more responsible for the stuff you upload and post, or does it change anything else? Not necessarily, but it does sort of make me feel like I need to, like I'm just doing this whole new schedule and everything like that. But that isn't really because of the 100 subs. That's just more along the lines because my sleeping schedule has changed. Well, before I was only able to record at night, but now I'm able to record during the day, so I'm able to create a schedule, and so I'll be able to upload pretty much more frequently on specific days and actually create a schedule for when I can record and all that type of stuff. So that's pretty much it. And then moving on to the next question. What, in your opinion, is the most remarkable change you have had in your channel or your commentary since you started YouTube? I wouldn't say there's anything remarkable of changes that have come to my channel. Most of the time, the changes are sort of gradual, slow but gradual. I suppose they're a lot faster than some other channels, like because I'm always working on trying to improve the channel. Whether it's graphics or intros, I'm always trying different things and new things. I'm trying to get as professional as possible and trying to get really into commentary, be the best that I can be when I'm talking in the microphone instead of being stuttery, not being able to hear me properly. I'm trying to speak more clearly, things like that. Let's see, moving on to the next question. There's a lot of questions. Tell us your favorite and worst gaming moment. And truth of the matter is, I'm not really sure. Favorite gaming moment? Honestly, I don't know. Who knows? I really don't know because I don't really particularly remember particular gaming moments where it's like, oh, this was so awesome, or I mean, I'm sure they've happened. It's just I've played games so much that it's like I don't know. Maybe okay. My favorite gaming moments maybe Super Smash Brothers Melee and Brawl. I've always those games were always amazing when we would do tournaments and everything like that. I ended up winning a tournament for Super Smash Brothers Brawl, which was really cool. Even at Anime Expo, we did a little competition there. I didn't win that, of course, but you know, even though that was the competition that mattered. But yeah, my worst gaming moment. Okay, well, here's a little story. I used to have this friend named Mike. And my worst gaming moments was always with him because he was extremely, extremely good at games. Probably definitely the best game player I've ever met in my entire life. Essentially, the way it worked is, okay, say we're playing a first-person shooter game, say we're playing online on a server, and say I'm in second place with, say, 20 kills. He's always in first place, usually with 2 times to 3 times the amount of kills I have. So that's just to give you an idea of how good he is. If I'm in second place, that means I'm pretty decent. You know, I'm not terrible at first-person shooter games, that's for sure. But he blows everyone away. To the point where we've actually gotten banned off servers because they thought that he was cheating. And I was banned with him because I was his friend. And of course, I already know he wasn't cheating because he doesn't know how to cheat. He is completely and utterly stupid when it comes to computers. So there's no way possible he would have even known how to do that. And not to mention I've been over his house countless times. So, yeah, that's probably the worst gaming moments I have. I got to the point where I honestly hated playing him. Like, I did not want to ever play him. Every time he wanted to, oh, let's play a first-person shooter, I was like, no. And if I'm like, if we're going to play a first-person shooter, you're going to be banned from using this weapon, and this weapon, and this weapon. And then the next thing you know, he's knifing me to death. And I'm still losing. But yeah, moving on. Telling us your favorite or worst real-life moments. My favorite real-life moment is probably moving to Canada. Canada is awesome. It's the best country in the world. And not to mention, of course, Sean's here, so that's obviously a plus. Hi! Okay, so now my worst real-life moment is probably, there was definitely a time where I was doing bad in school. I wasn't really doing anything with my life. I was depressed, miserable, and suicidal, and almost every day was a difficulty time just living. And there was a point where my family actually, like, I was trapped myself in an apartment, just sort of doing nothing with my life, just stuck in there, door locked, didn't really have any food. My father was in the hospital at the time, and they had to pretty much get into the apartment and pull me out of there and take me out. So yeah, it was a really bad time in my life. Thank goodness my life is a hell of a lot better than back then. So That's definitely the worst time of my life. Um, Moving on to the next question. If you had a chance to be a full-time YouTuber, would you do it? Of course I would do it. I don't see why I wouldn't. I think almost anyone would. Now, that isn't to say it would be my dream job, but it's definitely a job. It'd be definitely a decent job and a fun job at that. But it's definitely not my dream job, which leads us to the next question. What is your dream job? My dream job is pretty much game development. And while I have not specifically worked for a company, I have done other projects in the game industry and stuff like that. I've been somewhat active in the game industry from time to time. Usually on projects, like I do a lot of beta testing. Like I remember back during Gary's mod, I used to do beta testing for Gary. Of course, after he moved to the whole Steam, then he got rid of the whole gold version, and it kind of was a paid game, no longer beta. This is too bad. But it was definitely fun times. I used to do a lot of other beta testing. I used to also do development for a little bit of development for a game, Playing Shift. I used to do mods and stuff for Half-Life. Actually, Half-Life was probably the first game that started me in game development, to be particular. I used to do like level design for deathmatch maps and everything. That even moved on to, that was back when Valve had their world editor called Worldcraft, I think it was called. Worldcraft, not like Warcraft, but Worldcraft. And they later changed that name to Hammer. So, and that's pretty much my dream job. And particularly, I want to work on games that immerse you into the world, so you can experience things that you obviously wouldn't be able to experience in real life. And I want to be able to mold those worlds that people enjoy. Let's see, the next question is, what is your greatest strength and weaknesses? Well, let's see. My greatest strengths is probably my intelligence. Sometimes I'm too smart for my own good. I could get in arguments left and right and make people feel stupid, which pisses them off, and then things don't end well when you are a smartass. Let's just put it that way. Weaknesses? They're probably the same thing. Probably my intelligence is probably another weakness. Is probably a weakness. And stubbornness too, because I can argue and argue and argue. Even though I'm going to say this, I know I'm going to sound like an ass, but I am right most of the time. I don't care what anyone says. I know I'm right most of the time. There are occasional times where I am wrong, and I usually will admit it. Like, someone will post information and show me information, but that doesn't happen often, and usually I'm the one who's feeding out information, but they're the ones who aren't taking that information and just ignoring it. Like, I've had this one argument about color and what color is, like, where I tell people that color doesn't really exist. It's just all different frequencies of light, and your eyes just translate those frequencies into color. Color doesn't actually exist within the world itself. It exists within us, our brains. And I had this huge argument over that, and the person didn't believe me. I had to go into a library just to rent a book to prove him wrong. But, yeah. So, moving on. I've probably said so moving on quite a few times already, but can't figure out what else to say besides, okay, moving on. Okay, so, if you had a large sum of money to upgrade your equipment, what would you upgrade it? And that is everything. Everything. Okay, because, like, my computer isn't the best computer in the world. It's a good computer, you know, it's decent. It does its job. It does what it needs to do, but it's not some super computer. It's not like a gaming awesome rig where it can play almost any game. I mean, it can play any game at medium to low settings, some games at high settings, but it can't play every game at high settings. And of course, I would love to be able to play every single game at high settings. I would also get capture cards. I would get more hard drives. I would get obviously a better mic. You know, assuming like I don't get one from Antlion. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen, but we'll find out. A better screen, a better keyboard, and I definitely need a new mouse. My mouse has seen better days. It is a wreck of a mouse. It looks like it came out of the trash can. Let's put it that way. And we are moving on yet again. Do you have any big goals you want to achieve both in real life and YouTube? In YouTube, I hope to eventually reach 1,000 subs, 2,000 subs, 10,000 subs, 100,000 subs. I don't know. Just a lot better than where I am at now. I hope to obviously get a whole lot better at my commentary, and I hope to be a lot more professional, have more professional equipment, and have loads of fun doing YouTube. As for real life, I want to get married. I want to play video games, watch anime. I know that seems like pretty stupid goals, but I love anime. You know, I can't get enough of it. I'd love to go to more cons and stuff like that. You know. I don't really ask much out of life, really. The truth is, like, I'm fine with a simple life, so. And let's see. Maybe obviously getting a dream job, maybe doing more game design and stuff like that, but that's really about it. What, in your opinion, is the future of Night Owl? Be creative. Do you think it'll persist, maybe change to non-Minecraft things? If it would change, would you still like to be part of it? Well, first of all, I do believe Night Owl has the potential to become a really big success. To be honest, with the people that we have on the server, with the builds that we do, I'm surprised it's already not like, I would assume that, like, with the builds on the server, you would assume that it'd be nearly almost as popular as maybe Hermitcraft or one of those top servers. Maybe not as popular, but at least halfway there. The issue is getting noticed. And that's always the big issue with YouTube, is it isn't always about your content, it's more about getting lucky. It's more about someone popular noticing your content, or something going viral. So, I definitely think Night Owl has the potential to become a really great success. Now, do I think it'll always do Minecraft things, or will it switch to non-Minecraft things? I think everything is going to eventually change, because Minecraft, there's no way Minecraft is always going to be as popular as it is today. That's going to change no matter what. That's how all video games are. There's maybe a really popular game today, but it may not be a really popular game tomorrow. It all depends. It depends on when the next big game comes and when everyone decides to move to that next big thing. And I do believe that the Night Owls will have to keep an eye on changes like that. Because if a person only does Minecraft videos on their YouTube channel, eventually, when Minecraft is no longer popular, that YouTube channel is going to fall. And it's going to fall hard. So those YouTubers like Mumbo Jumbo, Tango Tech, those ones who rely on YouTube and are only doing Minecraft, I hope they have other plans in the future, because there's no way they're going to be able to keep the channel alive specifically on Minecraft forever. That's just not going to happen. They're going to have to do other things. Now, would I want to still be part of Night Owl if they start to do other things? Yeah, well, it depends on what they do. Other games, sure. If it's a lot of creative games, sort of like Minecraft, then yeah, of course. Even if it's not creative games, like first-person shooters or any other, so I wouldn't mind being part of stuff like that. Or maybe even moving to an MMORPG, though I don't think many of the Night Owls play MMORPGs. But, so the next question is, you've decided to give $1,000 to a charity. Which one will you choose? And the truth is, I don't know that many charities at the top of my head, you know, like names or anything like that, but I would definitely give it to, like, children without homes or children that are starving out in third world countries and stuff like that. Definitely give it to them, because it's not their fault they don't have homes, you know, and they're kids. They are part of our future. Like, it's different when you have adults. Adults are already adults. They are going to get old. They're going to die. But kids are going to be here a long time, and it's better that they survive. If you could be supreme ruler of the world, what would you do first? Truth of the matter is, I wouldn't want to be supreme ruler of the world. I'd want to work through it myself. Like, I wouldn't want to instantly be supreme ruler of the world. That isn't the fun part. The fun part is becoming supreme ruler of the world. Trying to come up with some evil scheme to take over the world. That is the fun part. Already taken over the world? Well, you got nothing left to do. I don't know. You just... I don't know. What would you do if you already own the world? Well, obviously I would make gay marriage legal everywhere. I would probably strengthen the laws quite a bit. I think there's so many laws that could use strengthening and so many laws that could use weakening. There's a lot of stupid laws, to be honest. Like, really stupid laws that need to be just taken out. And there are a lot of laws that you really need to be punished a lot more for certain things than what you are. Like, there's a lot of laws that make no sense. Like, you could do something that's not even that big of a deal and get life in jail, and you could do something that's freaking crazy as all hell and get freaking 3 years in jail. It's stupid. Makes no sense. Besides that, moving on, we have, do you fight with words or hands? And I fight with words. Always, because I'm not very strong, and if I was to fight with hands, I'd be beat up. On the ground. Crawling. Like, help, you know, like, it'd be pretty bad. So, usually I fight with words, and when I can't win with words, I run away. That's just how it is. And when I do try to fight with hands, like I said, it doesn't end well. It never does. Never. I usually end up getting punched in the head or something. So, what kind of music do you listen to? Rock? Techno? Dubstep? And I listen to all other types of genres here and there, depending on what it is. I mean, I like all types of music, but those particular ones I mentioned are the most I listen to. What kind of film and book genres do you like? Films, action, comedy. I like detective stuff. That's particularly with books. I like fantasy. Adventure. Now, the next question, at first when I looked at it, I was like, what the hell does this say? Like, is this in a different language? And then I'm like, oh wait, you read it backwards. Are you smart enough to read this? Yes. Yes, I am, because I just did. Thumbs up. Obviously, you like art. What is your favorite artist, and what style do you prefer? My favorite artist is actually on deviantART, and I believe his name is Phation, or let me see if I can pull up his name. Let's see here. Phation, like Phation, and I love his artwork. His art style is great. And matter of fact, I'll probably post a link in the description so you can check him out if you would like. Let's see, so the next question, oh wait, did I finish that? Oh, what art style do I prefer? That is a good question, and he says maybe name something in addition to the anime characters, because I do like anime, everyone knows that, or I hope most people do know that by now, since I mentioned it quite a lot. besides anime art style, that is a good question. Probably something like Disney. Disney has some nice art style. Like their recent art style, not their old stuff. Their old stuff sucks. Well, I know most people wouldn't say that, but I like their newer stuff because it's more anime oriented. How did you come across the Freedom Network and what impressed you about them so you decided to join it? The truth of the matter is they didn't impress me. They didn't impress me at all. There wasn't anything particular that they had that made me want to join them. What got me is the fact that they had a no lock-in contract, and I'm like, well, if I could join a network and it's no lock-in, might as well give it a try. There's no harm in trying, right? I mean, it's free. You can leave whenever you want. So I decided, and specifically, I joined the Flix Digital Network, which is under the Freedom Network. And truth of the matter is, I've been pretty impressed since I've joined Flix Digital. Flix Digital does a damn good job at doing what they need to do. They do have a slow update though. Like, I sort of expect them to update more often, but they are a little bit slow. But when they do update, they give pretty good features. When it comes to the Freedom Network, they also do good features. The CEO seems pretty cool, George. He always does his little George show. He's a little bit, I don't know what you would call it. He's pretty high up in the clouds, sort of say. All of his, George show episodes are very uppity and everything like that. He tries to be exciting, I guess. But, besides that, a great community on the forums. They always seem to be offering free stuff, which is pretty cool. Like free XSplit keys, free games. It's pretty useful, actually. And they're always trying to do their best to do things better than even most networks. And from what I hear, the Freedom Network actually does do a better job than most networks. Because, like, I've heard from some people from Machinima who are now in Freedom say that Freedom's a lot better. Like, they care more. Like, Machinima, apparently, you become a partner with Machinima, and that's pretty much it. That's where it ends. You're now a partner with Machinima, but they don't do anything else for you, pretty much. Like, you're just left to do whatever you want on your own. While Freedom actually gives you a lot of resources. Like, I have a lot of access to so much music that I can use in my videos, where while before I didn't have nowhere near as much music as I have now. And a lot of the music that I can use is very professional and sounds a lot better than some of the royalty-free music that you could get. So, moving on, how did you come to meeting Sean and making a YouTube channel with him? Believe it or not, I met Sean in a video game over the internet. It was called, I'm trying to remember what it was called. Sean, do you remember what it was called? Castle Empires, that's what it was called. So, I wasn't playing that game to meet anyone. Not even close. I was just playing that game out of boredom, really. And, I just decided to chat on the little chat for a little while, and I was just goofing off and everything, and next thing you know, he was hitting on me. And it kind of just went from there. I didn't trust him at all. Hell no. I'm like, who the hell is this fool on the internet here freaking hitting on me? And we talked. It took me a while to trust him and everything like that. We talked on Skype a lot. And it was kind of weird. It was a one-way love at first, I think. And then he sort of kind of grew on me. He's definitely the nicest guy I've ever met. He's very accepting of pretty much everything. Like, anything that I thought he would be shocked about me or something like that, he was perfectly fine with. So, I mean, he's great. And, as for YouTube, we're both gamers. He hasn't really been active on YouTube, but hopefully that will change. he doesn't have a very good computer. He would probably record a heck of a lot more often if he had a computer capable of recording, but we kind of have to share my computer in order to record. So he doesn't record that often, but he's going to now because we created a schedule, and I hope he continues to maintain his schedule. So, but yeah, we're both gamers, and we both thought it would be really cool, like, just to record video games, and something like Rooster Teeth. Rooster Teeth is really cool. We definitely want to eventually do that too, to where we have better system set up and everything like that, to where we could probably play games together too and record, which would probably be really cool. So yeah, all in due time. What is your Minecraft password, your credit card information, your YouTube password, and your master password? And he puts, disclaimer, don't actually answer this question. Well, I'm going to answer it, but I'm not going to give you the real passwords and information. Stuff like that. It's going to be like, what is your Minecraft password? Password. Your credit card information. 00000000012. Your YouTube password. Password. And your master password. Password. There you go. Go ahead and give it a try. See if it works. Who is your favorite actor? My favorite actor is definitely one of them is like Christopher Walken. Just because he always plays the best evil characters. You can never. And then he has this one music video where he dances and everything. You can't take him seriously. Like, you're like, is this really Christopher Walken? Did someone kidnap him and put a fake in there? Because you never expect him to dance like the way he was dancing. But yeah, there's this crazy music video with him on it. But he always plays great evil characters, and I also like the way he talks and everything like that. I don't know why, it's just interesting the way he talks. But I also like Will Smith. Will Smith is a really good actor. I like all of his movies. Most of them, I think. Besides the recent one. What was that recent one? After Earth, right? I heard that movie sucked. I don't know. That's what I heard. What is your favorite movie? Favorite movie? Well, let's see. When I was a kid, my favorite movie was Milo and Otis. If you all don't know what that is, it's pretty much a movie about a cat and a dog, and it's a live-action movie. And I later found out that a lot of cats and dogs got injured in that movie and died through animal cruelty. Like, there's a part in the movie where you see the cat going off the cliff. Now, you expect it all to be, you know, like movie special effects, but nope, they actually threw a cat off the cliff. And so I learned that, and I'm like, ah, childhood destroyed. So, let's see. Maybe recent favorite movies? Like a favorite movie? Gosh. Oh boy. What was a great movie that I couldn't get enough of? Oh, I know a good movie. What was that one with the Indian? Yeah, Lone Ranger was so funny. I like that movie, especially with the horse. The horse was hilarious. There's something wrong with that horse. Yes, there's something definitely wrong with that horse. What is your favorite book? My favorite book is, I think it's called Tail Chaser's Song. Let me just double check on the internet here to make sure that's it. Tail Chaser's Song. And yes, that is the book. Definitely check it out. It's an old book, and it's about cats. If you haven't noticed by now, cats are my favorite animals, but Tail Chaser's Song, check it out. Great book. They portray cats amazingly, even though it's a fantasy book with a cat that goes through everything, and the ending's crazy too. Like, it's kind of sad, but yeah, I would definitely check that out. Give it a read. What is your favorite Minecraft custom map? And sorry, there is no favorite Minecraft custom map. I've never touched a custom map before. I've never played a custom map before, so I wouldn't know. I guess I should start giving them a try though. Do you believe in God? And the answer to that is no. I am an atheist. I do not believe in God at all. Now, in the past, I have, but I never was really too sure about it. I was more of an agnostic, like I wasn't sure or not, but that's still almost kind of like an atheist anyway. Almost all my family is religious. Like on my dad's side, they're all Jews, and on my mom's side, they're all Christians. And truth of the matter is, I think it's all bullcrap, because there is nothing in any of the scriptures, books, or anything that really tell you, like, prove anything. They don't prove a damn thing. So, like, and science actually gives you the proof that you need to know what is true or false. In other words, to me, believing in God is no different than believing in something like Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, or the Easter Bunny. Like, I could say, oh, I have a invisible pink flamingo standing right next to me. No one can touch it, no one can see it, just I can. And it's there. And I can pet it. And no one can say that. You can't deny it. Like, you can't say, oh, no, you're lying. You can't prove that. And that's what I don't really like about the whole God thing, is there is actually no proof. And then not to mention all past evidence shows that there's no gods. Like, okay, almost every ancient civilization had gods that they believed in. God, like Zeus, freaking Hades, Athens, you know, there's just too many gods in the past that no one seems to believe in anymore. Why don't people believe in those gods anymore? How do we know those gods don't still exist? How do the Christians know that their God is the God that exists? How do the Muslims know that their God is the one that exists? How do we know? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So I just go with, you know, how we just kind of say, oh, all those gods don't exist? Well, I'm just going one more and saying the Christian God doesn't exist. No God exists. And to me, it makes more sense, actually, that no God would exist. Just because, like, who the hell would have created God anyway? Like, it doesn't make any sense. A being that's just there, I don't know. To me, it just makes no sense at all. Not to mention, the Bible freaking contradicts itself so many times, it's ridiculous. What's funny, I tried giving it a try not too long ago. Like, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to actually give it a try. So I started reading the Bible and everything like that. And because I read the Bible, I became an atheist again. Like, after reading the Bible, I was like, this is a bunch of bullcrap. And if it is real, like, if the Bible was real, I don't know why anyone would support it, because it is filled with evil shit. Like, it really is. It's filled with crap that God killing, like, causing people to die and killing babies and children. I'm sorry, I would not even support a God like that. That is terrible. You wouldn't support a king that murders countless people, would you? No, of course not. So why the heck would you support a God that does that? Sorry, if God was real, I'll be the person to overthrow him. It's just that simple. But of course he's not real. We all know that. Alright, well, I hope most smart people know that. I know I'm gonna offend so many people with this rant on that, but yeah. Anyway, sorry, just go on about your daily lives, you know? Okay, but moving on. What upsets you most in this world? What upsets me most in this world is the fact that we have all the resources we need to give people homes, to give people food, to give people what they need in their daily lives, yet we seem to be selfish. We seem to only want money. We seem to not give a crap about other people. And we could help all these people. We could live as one society, one nation, and be together as the human race, rather than, oh, they are African Americans, oh, they are the Jewish. Why can't we all just be one race? Example, Olympics. We're always fighting over each other. Oh, our team's going to win. You know, what does your country have anything to do with your skills as a sportsman? To me, that doesn't make any sense. Because, like, you could get, if you take, like, a bunch of people from, say, Africa, America, and bring them to China, And they could win Olympics that day, that time, you know, because they have those people. Like to me, it just, I don't understand why we can't just have mixed race sportsmanship type stuff. I think that would be so much better rather than country against country. Instead, we have them mixed, you know, and set up some teams, you know. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I just think, I know some people will disagree with me. I just think that we don't need the separation of race. We don't need the separation of gender. We don't need all the separation. I realize, obviously, we're going to have different attributes and stuff like that. Like, obviously, females and males aren't the same. Like, they are not the same. They are not born the same. And we should just accept those differences, and that's that. But we should also treat each other as equals. Like, obviously, to me, like, if you treat a girl, like, because if you treat a girl as if they're a little bit less weak or something like that, to me that's fine, because their body structure is. To me, that's still equal. If you go up to a female and decide to pick up like a bookshelf because it's too heavy for her, obviously to me that makes sense. It has nothing to do with inequality. It has to do with being nice, you know? And to me, that's the type of stuff that makes me upset, is I think the world needs to start seeing themselves as one rather than individuals. Like, separate races and all that. On a scale from 1 to 10, what letter of alphabet does an orange taste like? And truth of the matter is, I was thinking of some smart-ass answer for this, and I couldn't come up with anything. So, my answer is... not going to answer it. Nothing. No answer. That is it. And really, that is it. That's all the questions. So, thanks for listening in, and I hope you enjoyed this Q&A, and maybe you learned something about me. I hope so. It's been a long episode of questions, and thank you to all those who gave me questions. You have really helped me create this episode. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed listening to this, and see you around, and hopefully I see you in all my other shows and series and stuff. You know, it's good to see you guys around, and comment more often, because it's funner. Anyway, see you next time.